Hi, I'm Sage and welcome to my YouTube channel. And this week we're doing a speed paint of a bat and some fruit. And here I'm sketching everything out. I'm just trying to get like the outer shapes to kind of then mold everything together later. I realized a lot later that I made some mistakes and I will talk about them throughout the video. You may be like, mistakes? Yeah, get this. I may be good at drawing skulls and stuff, but let me tell you, greenery and me, we have beef, you know? Like, I'm trying my best. I'm gonna learn greenery one day, and when I do, I'll let y'all know. But right now, we're just blocking in some colors for the bat, and then we'll move on to some plants, and then the fruit. Ooh, I decided to go with mangoes, figs, and dates this week for the fruit bat because I googled and apparently fruit bats really like dates, figs, and mangoes. So I was like, say less. Those are the plants I'm gonna put in my drawing. Here I found out, I didn't know this, that dates actually grow on palm trees. So I needed to make a palm leaf tree, kind of like leaf thing type thing going on. And turns out what I was doing wrong was I was making it look more like a Christmas tree, you know, rather than a palm leaf shape. And this is the palm tree that grows the dates, and obviously there's a lot of dates in the world. For this palm leaf, I decided to take some artistic liberty and make it a little bit more fuller, just so there's more greenery inside of my drawing. And now we moved on to the bat. Ooh, this is my favorite part of the entire drawing. And here I'm using the airbrush to push around some lighting on the tops of his head and his ears and the tops of his wings and his eyes as well to prepare for the next few steps. But first, I do get distracted by some plants because, you know, it's not me if I don't get distracted. So the reason why I'm putting like an orangey tone slash like reddish tone up top of his face is one, because they are like that tone to begin with, but the background is also like of a cool tone, and when you put cool up top of warm, it really contrasts, and I really wanted it to contrast very nicely, and that's why I did that. And then we jump back to the leaves for some pizzazz, you know what I'm saying? Before we decide, again, bam, back to the bat. And here I'm gonna give you some bat facts. Ooh, fact number one is, did you know they're babies? They're called pups. Isn't that the cutest? Biggest bat is called the flying fox, and it lives in the South Pacific Islands. And the wingspan, they can grow up to 6 feet long. Isn't that insane? The species of free-tailed bats that have been clocked flying 100 miles per hour in short spurts. Isn't that insane? That is so cool. And they can also fly up to 10,000 feet. It's so cool, man. Ooh, and then here I add some little tufts of fur on the side of his face, near his little ears as well, and I do use the short hairbrush on Procreate. It does just come with Procreate. That wasn't like a custom-made brush or anything. And then here I flip the canvas so I can see if there's anything that I need to change on either side, because you get a whole new perspective when you flip the canvas. And then I start working on his little nose. His nose was so much fun like to do. I really enjoy working on his little nose just because they're so cute. I just absolutely love bats. But back to some bat facts. So get this, the oldest fossil of the known bat was 50 million years old. That's insane. And where a bat lives is called a roost, which I thought was so cute. I didn't put 2 and 2 together because like I play Pokemon, and one of my favorite Pokemons is Noivern, and Noivern has that move Roost, and I was like, oh my god, this all makes sense now. Another bat fact is that they're the only mammals that can fly, which is crazy because people think like, oh, what about the flying squirrel? The flying squirrel does not fly, he glides. Unlike bats that, you know, like flap their wings and do bat things. This next upcoming part, I'm gonna be working on the mango branches and the mangoes. The mango branches, what I use is I use the reed brush for the blending because it gives it such like a woody texture, and I really like that. And then I also use like the blue hues in order to give it a shadow. And you may be asking yourself, how did that leaf get rendered? How did that happen? I'ma tell you something. I was rendering leaves so much. I rendered these leaves probably 3 to 5 times each. I could not get them the way that I envisioned them in my head. So parts that I do leave in is the parts that will lead to the eventual outcome, because otherwise you'll just be staring at the speed paint being like, girl, like you just redid this leaf for like the billionth time, and that's kind of boring. So, and we don't do boring here, we do pizzazz, we do animal facts, we do art tips. So that's the reason why, is just because I did not have a game plan coming into this at all. You should have a game plan. I did not. I went off purely off of vibes. And you know what? Sometimes that does great. And sometimes you're like, I'm a silly little goose for doing that. And I'm gonna tell you another bad fact. Ooh. And you may be like, another one? Yes. You may be like, what's all these bad facts? Is it because at this part you can't just pick what to do in the speed paint and you're just constantly jumping around, so I'm filling it in with bat facts? You bet I am. So this bat fact is, guess what? They are huge pollinators, you know, just like bumblebees and just like butterflies. They're huge pollinators for mangoes, avocados, and bananas. And I think that's pretty neat because I love bananas. And I'm also gonna give you some art tips too. Ooh! So one of the art tips that, and I know everyone says it, but it's different once you actually do it and be like, oh damn, I actually understand like what people are saying now, is one of the best ways to get better at art is just to practice. Just do a bunch of doodles, man. They don't even need to be hardcore doodles. Just doodle it. Really helps, just trying to get like forms and everything, because everyone likes to draw something different. You know, like some people really like to draw people, or some people really like to draw cats. Other people like to draw, you know, like elephants or plants or like cars, airplanes, whatever it is that you like. Just focus on that subject. Like for instance, look at this. I did like some skulls and some hands on like this piece of paper. Just doodles. Like they don't have to be intense or anything. Or even something like this, and I have like some notes and stuff on it. And all that it is just practice. Practice really does make perfect, especially when it comes like to art. And then like you can like figure out what you like and don't like, instead of doing what I did and just going without a game plan. Don't do that. But if you do that, I understand, because that's what I do. Another art tip is that if you really like a certain style of like art, I would really suggest like watching a movie of it. You know what I'm saying? So like I've mentioned this before, I really like John Wick, you know what I'm saying? But I also really love like how intense and like cinematic the lighting is. I just really love really intense lighting. I just think it can say just like so much in the artwork itself. I think that whatever art style that you enjoy like to make, watching like a movie or a TV show that encompasses that will really help you not only understand but also see like what they did as well, because you can always go back, take screen caps and be like, what do I like about this and how come it looks like this? Break it down. And that was very helpful, like for me, like watching John Wick, to be like, oh damn, okay, I get it. And another art tip too is, this really helped me when I was learning how to do portraits, so like drawing people, was to watch a lot of makeup tutorials, because they tell you exactly where to contour, they tell you exactly where to highlight. But I'd really recommend watching a few, because it really does help just build like the face. It's really exciting. Anyway, those are my art tips. And another fact about bats, this will be the 10th fact, oh damn, is they live on every single continent except for Antarctica, which I think is so cool. Like they're literally everywhere. Ooh, and another bonus fact is that they are the biggest group of mammals. There are over 1,300 species of bats, which I think is super cool. There's so many different ones. And when I was coloring all the greenery in, I used so many different types of brushes. I used a soft airbrush, I used the fresco, I used the gouache, I used the hard airbrush, I used the majority of the painting brushes too, just trying to figuring out how I could color the greenery in. And I did end up at the very end, specifically for the mango leaves, I ended up using the soft airbrush and going in with that just to kind of make them look nice and smooth. Ooh, and then another really fun thing was me coloring in the figs was a lot of fun because when I was doing the shadows to put blue, I actually ended up putting another layer up top of the colored figs and then lowering the opacity with the dark blue up top of it. I just found that really gave it like the extra edge for what I was looking for. And I really wanted to mention that because I don't do that too often, but I really enjoyed how it all came out, and I ended up using the soft airbrush and also I forget what paintbrush over top of it as well, and it just really gave it like the it factor to make it really look like it was like 3D, you know what I'm saying? And I really wanted to mention that. And we're coming up on the end of the video, which is super exciting. We're almost there, we're almost done, yay! And I'd just like to mention that I have all my socials linked down below, so you can find me on any one of those. I update every Monday through Friday with shorts and reels and TikToks and all that fun stuff. And you can catch me here every week. I usually upload Thursdays. We're uploading on a Friday. We're a bit late this week, but that's okay. And by we, I mean just me. Just me, man. It's just, sometimes it be like that. Anyway, I'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye!